Hey y'all, it's Sierra, also known as Capricorn Moon Goddess. I'm gonna try to make this quick, okay? This is just a quick message. So, this is going to be spiritual related content for those of you that subscribe for candle making content. I just made a video last night, so check that out. Disclaimer as usual, I always got sinus infections, y'all know that. So I am getting over one right now. So I might sound stuffy, might have to clear my throat, all of that. But I wanted to talk to you all about how not knowing your true power or the magnitude of your gifts, or even being aware that you have certain gifts, and I'm talking about spiritual gifts. Um, well, it doesn't have to just be spiritual gifts. It can be regular, normal gifts, like just being able to um have influence over other people, people gravitating towards you, people actually being able to command the room, being able to speak well, having those natural leadership skills. So it doesn't have to just be spiritual gifts. It can be just normal strengths, okay? So, I wanted to talk to you all about how not knowing the true magnitude of your gifts or your power or your influence can actually be dangerous, and it can actually make you a target. And it's funny because I was in bed at like 3 o'clock in the morning thinking about this for whatever reason. And I said I was going to make a video about it. And then my friend Adana, who goes by the Afro Zen, the Afro AFROZEN on YouTube. You have to separate the words because if you don't and you search for her, the movie Frozen is gonna come up. So the Afrozen, she posted this morning about how not knowing the power of your gifts can be dangerous as well. So I was like, okay, synchronicity. So I must need to go ahead and talk about this. So one example that I will give to you all that is a spiritual example. I encountered this stranger one time. I was at my grandmother's house. She lives in a, or at the time, she lived in a community for elderly people. It was like an assistant living type of thing. And I was leaving, my son was leaving at the time, and we were walking to the car, and all of a sudden my son turned around, and I'm just like, where are you going? He turned around and started walking back towards the building. I don't know what possessed him to do this, okay, but it turns out there was a lady that was in a red truck that we had passed. I didn't see her in this truck when we passed it, but she was in the truck, and she told him to come here. Why he decided to listen to a whole total stranger, I don't know, because that's not even like him. But he decided to turn around and start walking towards the car. So I followed him, and she was just, "Hi, how are you? You're a cute little boy." You know, all the stuff people say to children or whatever. And she was like, "I want to give you something." So she proceeds, I think she like went into her bra and was like trying to find some money to give to him. And she got some money out and she gave it to him. And she was with another guy. And the guy wasn't paying attention to her. And she was like, "Don't tell him I gave you this money. He thinks I don't have any money. So if he knows I gave you some money, he's gonna know I have money, and I don't need him to know my business." So that already tells you she's the type of person that will get over on you, okay? And she had on a headdress. I just don't know what you call it. It wasn't a hijab. It kind of looked like the things that nuns wear, only it was white. So I don't know what kind of religion she was a part of, but she was clearly a part of some kind of religion. And she just was a little bit weird. She came off to me like a predator. So as she was talking to my son, she was like, "Oh, she told us to call her Meemaw." So she was like, "Take my phone number, and put my phone number in your phone, and I want you to call me, and you can just call me Mima. Everybody calls me Mima. And she was like, I am a prophetess, and your son, he's going to be a preacher. He is very powerful, very, very powerful. He's going to be a preacher, a prophet, all of that stuff. And then she was like, Mom, you're powerful too. Yep, you're powerful too. And I can't say it the way that she was saying it. I can't get the right tone, but it was just like a sly fox that found some prey or something. It was like she was a bird circling her prey. Like I could picture her rubbing her hands together with like an evil look in her face. Like, yeah, I finally got I got a good one. Even though she wasn't presenting that way. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. That's cool. Thanks for telling me that. But that's weird. And something told me that this person is a predator. So this was before I was even into spirituality like that. This is before I was doing readings and things of that nature. But she saw my intuitive abilities and my strengths and my power and my son's strengths and his power before I did. And she was planning on taking advantage. She was planning on me reaching out to her and her being some kind of mentor or something like that. And then she was going to use my power for her own agenda, or she was going to try to siphon my gifts. This is somebody who you would call an energy vampire, somebody who just wants to drain you of your energy, your talents. They're like a leech. They want to attach themselves to you to drain you, basically. And I could be a bit naive sometimes. So at first I was like, oh, that was nice. That was cool. But then I was like, wait, no, there's something that is not right about this person. So you have to be really careful about knowing your gifts and not knowing your powers, because other people can see you before you can see you sometimes. And they either are going to want to use you for their own agenda, or they're going to want to stop you before you can actually become who you were meant to become. Before you can actually start to use your power and your influence to either grow your business or affect the world in a positive way, if they're here to create chaos and negativity, they're going to want to stop you. Especially if they are the type of spiritualist, and I'm talking about like the prosperity evangelist, the TV evangelist, or the spiritualist that basically want to create a codependent type of relationship to where you need them all the time. So in a spiritual community, those are the people that are constantly doing rituals for people all the time. I'm not saying it's wrong to do rituals, but every other day they're doing a ritual for somebody to reach out to your ancestors for you, or to manifest money for you, this, that, and the other. Again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but I can see people doing so many rituals for people and so many readings for people where it's like, how are you even accurate? Because you're not even taking the proper amount of time to rest. You're not taking the proper amount of time to prepare yourself, to meditate, to cleanse your space. You can just tell like they're overdoing it, and they're creating codependent relationships. This is the people who are readers who don't use their intuition to read the cards, but they literally just read what the meaning of the card is, and that's it. They don't offer anything else. They don't offer any teachings with their readings. And you just come back asking them the same question over and over again. If you come back asking me the same question over and over again, I'm gonna tell you, you don't need any more readings. If you come to me every other day asking for a reading, I'm going to tell you no. There's such a thing as getting too many readings, because when people do that, sometimes they're avoiding doing the work and they just want to get the answer that they want to get. You're not helping them if you are enabling them. So when you come across spiritualists that want to create a codependent relationship with their clients, and they're in it for control. They're in it for the money. They're in it for the attention. They're in it for clout, likes, views. Nothing wrong with wanting likes and views. Okay, that helps you to get in the algorithm. But I'm talking about they don't have a pure heart and they haven't done the work on themselves. When they see an up and coming person that has true natural gifts, that has the ability to command the room, that doesn't have to do all the antics they have to do, that have a genuine following, that basically are just walking in their purpose, they see you as competition. You may not see yourself as competition for them because sometimes it's people that have more followers than you. It's people that have a bigger business than you. It's people that you would think are in a higher position in life than you are. This goes for corporate America too. Managers, people that are in higher positions than you. But they see the gifts you have. They see the power that you have. They see how people naturally gravitate towards you and like you. They see your intelligence. They believe that everything comes to you effortlessly. And they start to see you as competition, and you might see that person as a friend. So they start to plot against you. The whole time you thinking y'all cool, they're working against you. And you might not even see yourself on the same level. But here's the thing. You might not be on the same level as them right now, but they see that you have the ability to surpass them. So you have now become a threat. And when people start to feel threatened, they start to act out of survival mode. They start to become paranoid. They think you're coming for them when you're not even thinking about them. Or they might be the opposite and they may be mad because you're not problematic. I've had this problem. People mad because I'm not problematic. I'm not the type that's going to sit there and argue with you and go back and forth. I love a good debate. But to me, debate involves intelligence and logic. And if you don't know how to argue without emotion, I'm not about to sit here and go back and forth with you. Because that's not a debate, in my opinion. They see how you're unbothered. You don't mess with nobody. And they start to come for you. Unfortunately, I have dealt with spiritualists coming for me for no reason. And I used to be the type of person that felt like people could not affect you with spell work if you did not believe they could affect you with it. That's how I used to feel. But after dealing with so many spiritualists coming after me, and I'm talking about people that are popular right now on YouTube. And I got what? How many subscribers I got? I got less than 600 subscribers. And you coming after me. I'm not going to say no names because I ain't trying to start no drama. But y'all better be careful who you're following. Because they might see you and see your gifts and see you as a threat. I remember when I was in a lot of spiritual groups on Facebook, and I'm the type of person that I like to empower people with knowledge and information. So I'm not going to create a codependent relationship with you. I'm going to help you, but I'm also going to show you how to help yourself. So you don't have to keep coming back to me. I'm not like the doctor that gives you prescriptions to heal the symptoms so you can keep coming back because the problem hasn't been healed, just the symptoms. I'm not like that. So I would be in the spiritual groups giving people knowledge, giving people information. I would have so many comments on my posts, so many likes on my posts, and I'm thinking I'm doing something good because I'm helping to contribute to the activity in the group. So that way it can get pushed in the algorithm and people can feel like they're getting value. Because there's groups out there with hundreds of thousands of people and they don't have nothing going on. Ain't nobody posting, any valuable information. So I'm thinking I'm being helpful. And I get muted by the moderators. I get kicked out by the moderators. I'm thinking it ends there. Okay, they didn't like me. I was dropping too much knowledge, too much information, being too helpful to people, getting too much attention, whatever. I'm thinking it ends there. Meanwhile, those same people are doing spiritual work against me. You actually take the time out of your day to try to do a ritual against me. But I'm naive. So I'm not knowing this. I'm not focusing on this. I don't really care, to be honest. At the time, I really didn't care because I felt like, well, they can't affect me anyway. But the thing is, when you have so many people trying to come against you and you don't realize it, your defenses are down. So now it's my belief that they can affect you because I did see how it started to affect me mentally. I've had people try to mess with my dreams and all of that. Luckily for me, I'm intuitive enough to pick up on it. And I surround myself with other spiritualists who are intuitive as well. And they do have their clients' best interest at heart. Like I mentioned, Adana, the Afro Zen. So when I'm slipping, people like her will be like, okay, you slipping. You got people coming against you. Up your protection. It's important to make sure you are keeping yourself protected. And you may even have to be specific and say protected against other spiritualists, protected against people who are enemies that I don't even know about, protected against people who are trying to mess with my mental, who are trying to bring me down spiritually, who see me as competition when I'm not. I deal with this in corporate America and in the spiritual world as well. So this is not just advice that applies to spirituality. This is practical advice too, because again, you can have managers who are trying to prevent you from getting raises, trying to prevent you from getting promotions, talking bad about you to different people within the company. And you got people that don't even like you based on what they said. I've had that happen before. And then I've had people actually interact with me and be like, I like you. You cool. Yeah, but you were going off of what somebody else said about me, though. You can have family members being against you. You can have friends being against you. You're not competing with them. So it's kind of like how sometimes they say to catch a criminal or to catch a predator, you have to think like one. You have to think like a predator. It's not natural for you to think like an envious person or a jealous person. So you don't know the depths that they will go to try to bring you down. So make sure you are protecting yourself, saying your protection prayers. If you believe in doing protection rituals, do your protection rituals. And you constantly have to ask for people to be shown to you. But here's the thing, when they're shown to you, you got to believe it, because there's plenty of people where I got a weird feeling about them, but I was checking myself like, okay, don't think negatively about people. Whole time I was right. You are doing work against me. You're trying to hold me down. I used to not really care about stuff like that, but lately I've realized it is dangerous because they can catch you slipping. I thought maybe I was sad or depressed because inflation, the state of the world, it's a lot going on. I have a lot going on at work. And meanwhile, it's people that are literally praying for me to be depressed, for me to be sad, for me to be stressed out, for me to be knocked off my throne. They think that I think highly of myself to where I need to be knocked off my throne. Meanwhile, I'm just a quiet person. I stay to myself. I've always had people kind of think I was better than others. You think I'm better than you. I don't think I'm better than you. That's how you feel. Especially being black or African American. If you don't act the way that people think black or African American people should act, they tell you you act white, you talk white, you think you're better than everybody else. Because I'm speaking proper English. Because I know how to act, because I got home training. What are you saying about black people if you tell somebody they act white because they know how to act in public and they're not loud and they're not ghetto? Yes, I said ghetto. A lot of people don't like that word, but I'm talking about this is how they think. If you are young, people envy your youth. That's what happens a lot in corporate America. The older people will be hating on the younger people sometimes. And this is not to cause division. I'm telling you what my experiences are. Um, and I've had older women tell me that their daughters are going through the same thing. I don't feel like it happens as much with men, but with women, I'm speaking from a woman's perspective, so I can't speak too much on men, but I know it happens with women a lot. Meanwhile, you respect that person and you see that person as a mom figure, and they hating on you the whole time. Because when they were your age, they weren't where you are today. So hopefully this wasn't this huge rant. But I wanted to come on here and just talk about that really quickly. It's important for you to know who you are, know how powerful you are. So, for one, you can tap into that power when you need to. For two, so you can understand it's not necessarily personal if things are happening to you and people are, I've had people just turn on me. It's for one, it's to teach you how to tap into your power. So your higher power will allow certain people to come against you just to teach you how to tap into your power, how to trust your own intuition and your own discernment. And if you feel a certain way about somebody, to go with your first mind. So it could be lessons. It's people projecting on you how they feel about themselves. You're a mirror, you're reflecting that back towards them. So they don't like you for that. People can try to come in and steer you away from your purpose and walking in your purpose and discourage you. It's important to know where the advice is coming from when people are giving you advice. It's important with the increase in social media to know not to just post everything all the time. Don't give people all your information and what your blessings are and this and that and the other. Yes, I used to be one that felt like can't nobody take what's for me. I don't think they can just necessarily take it, but they can cause some delays. They can throw some wrenches in the plan. They can slow some stuff up. They may not win the war, but they might win some imaginary battles that you didn't even know they was having because you ain't even in a fight or a competition with them. Make sure you stay protected. Make sure you know your power. Make sure you trust yourself. And if you feel like you should be doing something, don't let people discourage you from doing it if they're coming from the wrong place. Don't let people make you feel bad about yourself. Don't let people make you feel paranoid. Don't let people make you feel bad when you finally put that return to sender back on them, or you finally put them in their place. If we're talking about in the physical world, if you're in the corporate world, make sure you have proper documentation of certain conversations. If you feel like you're being bullied at work, make sure you're documenting that. I might talk more about that on a different video, but I'm still in corporate America right now, so I got to tread lightly. But I got a lot that I can talk about with that. And I'm going to just tell y'all this, affirmations really, really work. So if you having trouble at work, start using affirmations. I may release some affirmations for people. But yeah, I just wanted to tell y'all that real quick. I feel like I'm rambling now, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this here. So thank you for taking the time to watch, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Bye.